Thank you for listening to Sassy Optimist with Cindy Chapin. So, how the game Peekaboo could kill you. No, actually, I'm being very melodramatic, but the game Peekaboo, when you think about it as a little kid, when you like hold up a blanket or hide behind something as a child, you think if you can't see it, then it's not there. But as an adult, we all play the same game. I know I play the game Peekaboo. What it means is if I don't see it or if I don't acknowledge it, if I don't think about it, then it's really not going to hurt me. And so I would always jokingly talk about like donut holes. If you eat the whole of the donut, that there's no calories. I also had a job at Tasty Freeze where there was a guy who would get a Diet Coke float. And I remember asking him, I'm like, why don't you just do regular Coke? And he said, well, because they kind of balance each other out. So in his mind, it was kind of like, well, if I think of it this way, then it's really not going to harm me. And, I do the same thing too. And I heard somebody saying, I wished I could remember who it was so I can give them credit, but they said, we like to hear good news about our bad habits. And I have spent the majority of my life living that philosophy, kind of trying to justify, maybe exercising, not exercising, eating certain things or not eating certain things, or, behaving a certain way, or saying, other people do it too, or whatever it is. Again, hearing good news about bad habits or the game peekaboo, whatever you want to call it. So, okay, I don't know why I let the music play in the middle there, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not quite the techie person, but I'm getting there. So, little music break. But, where I'm going with this is I kind of think about that with my own life. I'm just sitting here and I'm looking around and thinking, there's places that like the nooks and cranny underneath that I don't dust or you pay attention to necessarily. That doesn't mean that there's not dirt or things building up underneath there. It's not that every day I'm going to be, looking at every single nook and cranny, but unfortunately there's times where I allow way too much time or I allow too many excuses. And so, for example, even weighing myself, it's, some people believe that you should weigh yourself every day. Other people think you shouldn't weigh yourself. Some people think you should have carbs. Some people think you shouldn't have carbs. Some say you should do keto. Some people say you should do AdKit. Some people say, it's just like, again, we can continue to find something that supports, our decisions. And I just think that you really have to just try different things that you feel strongly led to do and see what works for you. And what my challenge is I become super excited about what I'm doing. And I have to remind myself that not everybody's excited about it. So I know that there's times and it can come across as I'm pushing something on somebody. It's truly my excitement or something that's working for me. So I'm working really hard on not doing that. Because the last thing I want to have happen is that somebody feels like I'm judging them for a decision they're making or not making. Because believe me, I cannot throw stones at a glass house. Because you know what? My house is definitely made of a lot of glass, and I have a lot of things that I still need to work on. But I have to be honest, there are times where I do become very judgmental, and I'm not proud of it at all. But what I'm doing, another music break again. What I'm doing is just really trying to work on myself. And it's kind of interesting. So last night, not interesting, it's so silly. Some of the things that I say and I catch myself, I'm like, well, that wasn't interesting. This is totally the right-brained hairdresser kicking in. It's like all these little squirrel moments on this podcast. So welcome to the world of Cindy's brain. That's why I'm really good at what I do, because I'm creative. That's what I tell myself and other people, which is the truth. But anyway, I will get back and I will focus on this. I'm just working on, because it's easy for me to then let the pendulum swing too far. 1 minute I'm in denial. I'm acting like the game peekaboo, where I'm not acknowledging, like if I don't track my calories, then they're really not impacting my body or whatever it is. If I stand on one foot as I'm eating something I shouldn't eat, that it doesn't count. Whatever it is that I'm doing. And then I go too far and then I beat myself up on it. So I'm really working on that balance of having the discipline of acknowledging what's going on, but not overwhelming myself with too many things, because gosh knows there's a lot of layers to this onion, and I don't want to pull too many layers back because of the fact that I think it would be very stinky, pun intended, but I'm just working on some main things. But I'm really kind of like my husband this morning. He had the day off. I have been taking a 5 a.m. Class. I joined Orange Theory. I've done a whole 9 sessions, and I absolutely love it. Mostly love hate. So I love it because of the fact that, number one, there's tons of affirmations. So my love language is definitely words of affirmation. So you get there, they tell you what's going on as you're entering the class. They're either high-fiving or fist-pumping you. They're going around there encouraging you. They're constantly telling you what's going on. You've got, a 90-second push. Then you're going to have a 30-second break. They call it baseline if you're on the treadmill, and then we have resistance training, and they break people up into groups, and every time you go there it's something different. You don't necessarily know what it is, you just know it's going to be 60 minutes of intense workout. You wear a heart rate monitor, so you're constantly being able to see, and they color code it. So hey, hairdresser loves color. Helps me not to necessarily look at the numbers, even though those are also up there. I pay more attention to the color I'm in. You want to start off in gray, which is just a normal resting, get up to green, and then you want to be in orange. That's the name, Orange Theory. Red means you're above that. They say a pyramid between the green, the orange, and the red. So you want the orange to be the highest. And so you're able to do that. I also peek at the person next to me on whatever it is I'm on, if I'm on the row machine or if I'm on the treadmill or whatever, if I'm doing the resistance or whatever it is I'm doing, I'm paying attention, and it really has been pushing me a lot. But yesterday, Tim had a work dinner that they graciously invited me to and paid for my meal. And we ended up eating later, which typically work dinners do, and they last forever. We got back, it was late. I was very sore from the other workouts I had done during the week. So I was very sore. I ate more than I should have. I didn't eat anything. Well, there was a lot of oil, but otherwise I stayed with my vegan lifestyle choice that my husband and I have made. But ate too much, ate too late, and there was a lot of oil on it. My tummy wasn't feeling good. I was really sore. It was late. I didn't sleep well, and I had to get up at 4:15 so I could get over to the class. And I was so tempted not to do it, but I thought, no, you've got to go. And so I went. I did the class. I came back. I was like euphoric. Number one, amazing workout. Number two, very proud of myself. And, that's just it. I'm just kind of taking it one step at a time. And it's like, I can't be in denial. I can make excuses. But the reality is, I need this for health. I need this for self-esteem. And what I love about working out, too, is a lot of times when things are really bugging me, like I admitted on my last podcast, that I was allowing things to really irritate me more than normal, that when I go do a workout and come back, it's kind of like, it's really not that big of a deal. So I really just encourage you also to just not to play the game of peekaboo, because it could kill you. No, I'm just joking. Well, maybe it could. But anyway, I want to thank you for listening to Sassy Optimist with Cindy Chapin.